Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 400. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo.
Brett Murdoch.
What up, people?
And Brian Manjoma.
What up?
All right, people, you already know another episode 400, man. Two podcasts. Oh, podcast, perfect timing. Cats always seem to do that shit. I love it. But yeah, we are here with another episode 400 of another podcast celebrating. You know, by the way, Chris may show up later. He's having some thunderstorms down there. I didn't know it thunderstormed down there in fucking
Austin.
In Austin, did it?
Dog.
Yeah,
Dog. That dog's crew.
Yeah, there you go. Does it storm down there, people?
Yeah,
in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, especially Austin. I mean, it's not technically the desert, but it's I think it's pretty close, but it's more closer to the tornado alley than it is to like the desert.
Okay, cool. Oh shit, Carlos, do me a favor and get me Logic Wince's questions. Just toss them in there.
What do you think I'm doing right now, dude?
Oh, let's fucking go. And Adam, we still haven't heard from this man. We know he has the Rona, and we haven't heard from him since.
Yeah,
so we got to email him. We got to email him, see what's up. You know.
I will tell you, because someone is. I mean, by the way, I was on episodes when I had Rona, but it'll leave you pretty beat. So you know, hopefully everything goes over well. You know, just take your vitamins. Make sure you take all your medication. You just have to sort of treat it like a normal cold, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or normal flu.
But anyway, yo, what's up, Brett? I saw your hand go up. This is cool. I can see you now.
No, ignore me.
All right, fine. I'm telling you, man, I'm very impressed by the quality of that iPad image. It looks fucking pristine.
Just straight, and this is just straight audio quality too. Like it's better than any of the fucking headphones I have.
Holy shit! Yeah, I was about to say, I'm using the iPad fucking sound too. Jesus. Shout out to Apple,
no headsets, no microphone. This is just straight iPad.
Wow. Good shit, man. Good shit. Sometimes it's good to go low tech, right?
Yeah, this isn't even the expensive iPad. This is like the fucking 6-inch, 8-inch, whatever.
Yeah, it's not the one with the M1 chip, right? It's like is it the Air or the Pro? Wow, it's just a regular ass iPad.
No, it looks like it's a mini.
Regular ass iPad.
Wait, it could be a mini.
Because his 6-inch iPad is
it's the mini. It's just the regular ass mini. It's not the mini Pro.
Okay, the mini Pro. But
if they have such a thing, I don't know. They have too many goddamn iPads, man.
Yeah, I agree. But either way,
there's a lot.
You look good. You sound good. So yes, the base iPads have gotten really good, Tony. I'm actually rocking the iPad Air with the M1 chip. This shit is legit. You know. Anyway, let's get into it, man. Questions. Remember, this is the AMA special, so random shit. A lot of interesting questions tonight, by the way. I think some of you guys may need to get laid, bruh. That's all I'm saying about that. But
what is this?
We'll get into those questions. Some of these questions we may have to just quickly answer and then move on before we get in trouble. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, okay.
What are we?
Yeah.
Anyway. Not gonna ask. I was like,
are they asking? Are they asking like shit like what position do you like or something?
No, they're not asking like that. They're asking stuff.
Manny.
Yeah, they're asking
the one time I know better than to ask a question, you pop in with it, man.
Yeah.
The one time.
Yeah, no, they're asking us stuff that would have been safe for us to talk about 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing crazy, but I'm like, I kind of see where the psychology is right now. Anyway, let's get into it. Ace Ali, so he asked us this question a number of weeks ago, but it wasn't actually applicable to like the gaming stuff, but you know, applicable here. Oh, Chris just showed up. Let's fucking go.
Oh yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, first question of the night. Other than Xbox or Windows, what Microsoft product do you point to as a pillar of excellence, never to be outclassed by any rival or competitor? Microsoft Office, Kinect, Bing, Visual Studio. I wonder what people in general can look at from Microsoft and acknowledge as a sterling product as opposed to just what people use because it's a default option like Windows OS or Office. Good question.
this would be a good question for Adam if he was,
Mr.
if he felt
Microsoft.
Yeah, he is Mr. Microsoft. So I mean,
I gotta talk about the Zune. I still got that shit.
The Zune HD was a butter console.
I really can't. I mean, I could say that most Microsoft products are functional. I mean, I can't say they're like the end all be all of programs, right?
I will say.
Go ahead, Carlos. Go ahead.
I will say Visual Studio is the high mark for IDEs for development. Essentially, I wouldn't be surprised if Chris uses Visual Studio for his programming, or Brian. It's pretty much the de facto, especially for front end development. So yeah, it's a great IDE, and I use it whenever I do some front end stuff. But it's like it's everywhere. It's the Windows of programming, essentially. So I gotta give them props for developing something that's functional, that's simultaneous. Synonymous with the standard of what it does.
Yeah, I do use Visual Studio Code. It's pretty good. Probably the IntelliJ loyalists will probably disagree with you. All the guys who like the JetBrains stuff, they probably won't like that. But I mean, it's great. I mean, Microsoft has had misses, like you mentioned, the Zune. Office has kind of killed everything else. I remember years ago, like there was Lotus's suite of Office tools, and they were kind of the competitor. There was also Corel. There was WordPerfect. There was Lotus 123 used to be the standard for spreadsheets, and Excel kind of dominated it, took it over. So Office kind of became the default. So unless you use Unix or Linux and use Open Office, like Microsoft Office kind of just dominates that stuff. So I guess you could look at that as a pinnacle because it destroyed everything else. But in terms of certain hardware, like they tried with phones, right? They tried Windows Phone. Windows Phone failed. Apple dominates, mobile and Android. They couldn't compete in that. They couldn't compete in handheld media players. So I don't know. I don't know if like Windows will always be remembered, right? Like if you push ahead, like if you think ahead and people look back, like we look back at like the Apple One or like the development of Unix or all that, people will remember Windows, right? But is anybody in the future going to be like pointing at Azure and be like, wow, they had the king of cloud platforms, or are they going to look at Office? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Azure competition is a lot stiffer. It's like they got AWS and Google Cloud. So then, and whatever Elon Musk is going to create something probably. So it's going to have a lot of stiff competition. But yeah, I agree with Chris. The whole stuff with Office. I mean, it was. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was an Apple press conference when they announced Office available for Mac, where everyone was losing their damn minds in front of Steve Jobs, and that was considered a landmark moment for that. So yeah, Office is just another thing. It's a zeitgeist program.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time with it because I like other products like Surface tablets are okay, but they're like sterling. I've used better stuff, but like Windows is like the shit. That's like the most pervasive thing they've ever developed. Xbox, if you think about it, it's a drop in the bucket for Microsoft, though. Like in the large scheme of things, it's not. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like on the level of like Windows. Windows is just in everything. Unless it's an Apple product, obviously. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't know, but it's a good question. Anybody else have anything to add? I'm gonna take that as a no.
Not really.
But yeah, it was a good question because it's tough. All right. Moving on here. Another one from Ace Ali. What are the panel's top 3 favorite IPs or franchises from any genre. Which franchises have earned an instant purchase from you no matter what? That's an interesting one.
That's I can name a few. I'm trying to think of a third though.
Well, I think for me, I mean, anything from software does with Souls or Bloodborne, and that's instant buy. Like, they have not done me wrong, and I don't think anyone with any of those games. So that's instant.
Yeah, that's instant. Can I compare? Not a franchise exactly. It's more of a company. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, but I'm not buying Armored Core or any of those games. I just mean the Souls games.
Yeah. All right,
the Souls. Yeah. I would say Capcom has had enough of a redemption arc where I trust them, and I will buy Resident Evil day one. Whereas I almost fell off. Like 6, I was like, wow, this is crap. I just and not Revelations 1, but Revelations 2, total shit. I was just like, wow, I think they've jumped the shark. The series has gone downhill. And then 7 came out, I'm like, wow, this got good again. This is great. And 8 was good. So I trust them with that. I would say if there's a Monster Hunter World 2, that's a day one. Like, I would jump on that instantly.
Yeah. Final Fantasy, I think for me. Main Final Fantasy, none of the spin-offs or the online stuff. That'll probably be day one for me. But this one's tough because lately a lot of franchises that I used to really love have fallen off. I'm talking about across the board, so it's hard to trust. Like Star Trek was one of my main ones. I can't trust Star Trek anymore. Can't trust Star Wars anymore.
I was thinking about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking about this today. Like in terms of video games and sometimes movies, the fact they take sometimes 5+ years to go from like concept through development or negotiations or whatever. It got me to realizing like we're betting on horses that are in some cases, especially with video games, like a decade old. Like how are you supposed to be like, yeah, something was good 10 years ago. What am I supposed to do with that information?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you only release a GTA every 10 years, like are you going to buy GTA day one? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea how it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know anymore because the landscape has changed so much in 10 years.
Just the nature of 10 years, the landscape kind of tends to change.
Yeah, no, you're right. So yeah, it's been. Yeah, I've been thinking about this question like all day. It's hard because again, all the franchises that I used to trust in, I can't trust in anymore. Right? It's like they've just everything's. I can't trust Marvel anymore. Can't trust DC anymore. MCU can't trust that anymore.
Let's not take it quite that far. Is there anybody that you kind of give the benefit of the doubt to? Like for me, it's Fallout / Elder Scrolls. It's pretty much
like
the same game.
Final Fantasy is the only thing I kind of go with. Main.
I've noticed everybody seems to have like one game or one franchise.
Well, I would agree with Brett. I would if they announced Fallout 5, I would buy that sight unseen.
Yeah, so
because I just love 3 and 4.
Yeah,
but look at Saints Row. I platinumed the last one. I'm not touching this one.
Yeah, you don't need to. Trust me.
Yeah. I know. I saw what you said. I've seen video after video, people filming glitches and all this stuff. That's just the bugs in the game. Not to mention, I saw some of the writing.
Yeah, that's my main thing with that game because I beat the game and I play on PC. No bugs, but that writing is flat and the characters are just uninteresting. But yeah, again, look. I could just list off stuff I can't trust anymore. So I'll stop right now. But again, look at this shit. Lord of the Rings can't trust that anymore. Game of Thrones can't trust that anymore. It's like all the things I like are just disappearing. It's very upsetting to me.
I mean, it's kind of like the whole idea of the sequels that we had in the 90s. Like every time they do a follow-up series, they seem awful.
Yeah. Terminator can't trust that anymore. Alien can't trust that anymore. Predator can't trust that anymore. It's like everything I love is gone, man. Shit. Anyway, what about franchises we like? Let's get back to the question at hand before I get more surly.
I mean, as far as franchises that I would
from anything. Okay,
I'll say GTA.
All right.
I mean, here's the deal. It's GTA. It's going to be a fucking cultural event, right? Like, am I just going to sit out on the sidelines on it? Like, even if it's not good, I'm going to want to know why and be part of the fucking discussion.
Yeah, I know.
Be honest here.
Yeah.
That shit's getting bought. It is. It's getting bought. They've got me. I may not be happy about it, and I certainly won't be buying 3 copies, but it's probably getting bought.
But Brett, you bring up a good point. I mean, even though this new GTA might not be something that is going to be for you, and it might be the one that kills the franchise for you, but that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So you're still technically bought in until they prove you otherwise.
Yeah, you're right. And I don't like that fact. I'll be buying it day one. God damn it. God damn it.
I do want to mention this isn't across the whole spectrum of medium for this franchise, but One Piece is one of it for me. I guess A Song of Ice and Fire is another one.
Yeah, yes. A Song of Ice and Fire, yes. Not Game of Thrones is the difference, you know?
Including the expanded universe novels as well.
Yeah, Duncan Egg, man, for life.
Duncan Egg, but George R. Martin, man, that dude's slipping. I mean, he's been slipping for a decade now, and I don't know when the hell we can expect something new.
It's a book.
Yeah, or he'll make another video game or something.
Yeah,
but those are 2. I do want to cheat in this question, and I'll just mention 2 in 1. It's a combo package. Anything Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve make.
By the way, franchises or because that is kind of cheating. But if we're going to allow that, I'm just keeping it real. Blitz said it. At this point, Kojima, he makes something, I'm buying it. I'm being real. Oh. It's Kojima. He made Metal Gear Solid 3, man. You know?
I mean,
he's not a franchise, but
he's not a franchise. We're cheating right now a little bit.
It's a cheat.
Is anybody here not going to buy the next Soulsborne game?
No, we already said we will, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're in.
I won't.
Oh, damn. Excuse me.
The question was, is anyone here not going to buy the Souls game? I won't.
Yeah. What about you, Brian? Are there any franchises you'll just dive in day one, no questions asked?
See, the really annoying part about this question is I'm kind of with Tony here. Like, everything that I enjoyed is either dead because it's no longer being made, or dead because I can't trust it. So I was just racking my brains, like, what is a franchise that I can just trust with?
It's tough.
With nothing. And the only thing that came to mind is Burnout.
Brian, what about The Witcher?
CD Projekt Red. That's the problem I have with The Witcher.
You know.
Well,
like if it wasn't, like, again, if Cyberpunk came out at a decent quality, then I'd say, yeah, Witcher 4, fine, you know. But after Cyberpunk, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. And then I was going through, it's like, okay, like, all these game companies just fuck up, and it's like, I don't know anymore. So the only thing I can trust is maybe Burnout.
We're never gonna get that, man. Fuck.
It ended when it was supposed to.
Well, Carlos, to be fair though, his answer is the same as me and you saying A Song of Ice and Fire. We're probably never gonna get that either.
Oh yeah, we're delusional at this point.
You know.
I don't. There's nothing at this point in time that really just makes me say I need to have it as far as franchises go. I would agree with the consensus of a lot of what's been said, that things have sort of switched around and have turned away from the things that I sort of enjoyed. And I mean, I will not say that I will buy every Kojima game, because I cannot. I judge each Kojima game on what I find interesting about them. So if the next one is something I don't care for, then I won't buy it.
Yeah, if he's doing some pachinko shit, then I'm done. You know, but
yeah, I mean,
he's had a good track record with me, so no reason I'm not going to give him benefit of the doubt.
I mean, it's a lot more nebulous with him nowadays, because you don't know what he's going to make next.
He's making an Xbox game.
Yeah, he's making an Xbox game, but the last game he made was literally a delivery game. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Let's move on. We still got a lot of questions tonight. Illustrated Dio. There's another. There's another one he asked a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't applicable to gaming. Okay, with Sylvester Stallone getting a superhero series, Brad Pitt getting his line of John Wick style films, more Star Wars and comic book film series, is the superhero genre overused in cinema at this point? Should a nerd like me worry that X-Men in the MCU will be as underwhelming as the Last Jedi? The Last Jedi. A lot of questions there. But yeah, are we, seeing? Is it happening? Superhero fatigue? I don't think it is.
I mean, I would say I have a bit of superhero fatigue.
I do.
I had superhero fatigue when Age of Ultron came out.
Oh. Yeah, after like enough just trash, for my opinion, from the MCU Phase 4, I'm like, I'm experiencing it now.
Yeah, I definitely have it.
I'm sick of bad superhero shows and movies, but like the good ones, man, I'm still on board. Invincible, The Boys, 100%, man.
Yeah, Invincible's dope. Man, give me that shit, please.
So is it superhero fatigue or is it Marvel fatigue?
Yeah, it might be Marvel fatigue. Well, and Marvel and DC fatigue.
They're both going downhill.
Yeah, okay. You know what, Brett? Thank you for that. Yeah, Marvel and DC fatigue for sure. Tired.
I don't think it's like
DC's
Marvel
been doing
fatigue.
What happened?
Yeah, they've been doing James Gunn shit. I'm good with them.
Yeah.
I think the fatigue is just bad stuff fatigue, because again, like as you guys have mentioned, there's plenty of really good superhero things out there, and if you just ignore the bad ones, it's actually quite decent. Again, The Boys, as you guys have mentioned. So it's not even Marvel and DC, it's just bad in general stuff that you are fatigued about, I think.
That is true.
Because I'm kind of the same way. Like I've not enjoyed a single Phase 4 film, and that includes Spider-Man.
Other? The Suicide Squad was really good. I rewatched that recently, and man,
Suicide Squad was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yep, and then you got Peacemaker, the Harley Quinn animated show is fucking dope.
Yeah, so I think with the question, it can get a little bit weird because it depends on who's making these shows or the movies. I mean, Sylvester Stallone hasn't really been that relevant in a while, so I don't know how he can carry his own superhero series. So, Brad Pitt
already
John
have
Wick,
Sylvester Stallone fatigue.
I could never get tired of Sylvester Stallone.
Nothing is over.
And Brad Pitt doing a John Wick style film doesn't sound good to me because we already have John Wick style films that are great. So
yeah, they're still being made. So
they're still being made, exactly. So it's hard to even take those that seriously until they actually preview.
Are you sure Brad Pitt's movies are John Wick movies, or are they taken like Liam Neeson movies?
Or Jason Bourne.
Does that weird movie he just made count? That Bullet Train movie?
Bullet Train, yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what to make of that. John Wick seems more serious, and that seemed like really goofy and weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But all I know is Top Gun Maverick beat Infinity War in box office gross. So that says something.
Yo, did you guys see that video clip of
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise? Yo,
that dude is the GOAT. Because he does a lot of his own stunts. He does most of his own stunts, actually. So, yeah. That dude is crazy. And he's like pushing 60, isn't he? Like, he's getting up there.
Yeah, he's pretty much 60 at this point.
Yeah, he's the fucking... that dude's incredible, man.
And all the Mission Impossible movies are great. Well, except for 2.
Here's the thing about 2. 2 was just okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because it's still watchable. But yeah, you're right. 1 fucking... that's still my favorite.
Yeah.
1 is so fucking good.
3 is my favorite, man.
Then you see 2, you're like, it's cool, John Woo shit. You see 3, you're like, excuse me? And then after that,
what's the rabbit's foot?
Yeah, and then after that, it's just been
I have issues. I like Mission Impossible 1, but I have issues with it.
Uh-oh.
Just for the plain fact that they killed off the original cast of essentially what was the original. They made the original cast of the Mission Impossible rogue. John Voight was playing essentially the original character.
Yeah,
he was playing Jim Phelps.
He's playing Jim Phelps, and if you ever watch the show, Jim Phelps would never do that shit.
Oh.
That's
what's
what
his
the
name
problem with
said-
that movie is.
Peter Graves said that in an interview.
Yep.
It's like his character would never act like that. So
Yeah.
Shout out to Tumeke who put Tom Cruise is the last action
He
hero.
really is.
Yep.
He
I mean,
really
he kind of is the last action hero.
He's kind of like the last Hollywood star, if you think about it. You know, like he's in a movie, people are gonna go see, because now people don't go see stars; they go see brands. You know, like he actually drives ticket sales. You know, like stars used to back in the day. You know, Tom Cruise is the GOAT, man. All right, Jason Bourne franchise is good. I like Jason Bourne movies.
Yeah, Jason Bourne.
Those are cool. They haven't gone bad when they
I like those movies.
When they have Matt Damon in them. I don't know about Hawkeye's one.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And that's the Mission Impossible movie I kind of fell off. The one where Hawkeye was in it, I was like,
that's the one in Dubai.
Yeah. But
you like the one with Superman in it.
Oh yeah, that one.
yeah.
All out.
Tom Cruise, man.
They shouldn't have killed him. They shouldn't have killed him off. They had him as a.
Or did he die? He just landed.
GOAT. All right.
I mean, they killed him kind of like the way they killed what's his face in Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
The dude from Dirt Rocks from the Sun, John Lithgow.
Yeah, John Lithgow. Yeah. All right, good stuff, man. Next up, we got Tumeke, who's joining us in the chat tonight. What was the most adventurous thing you've ever done? It could be an activity such as skydiving, or maybe something you've eaten.
Oh, Tony.
What's up?
Guatemalan insanity pepper.
Yeah, that's about the craziest thing I've ever done.
That's yours.
Yeah, the Guatemalan insanity pepper is like, who brought that? It was Evil Chris who brought these fucking things.
It was Evil Chris that did it.
So, and we just ate these fucking, me and Mike and Chris, we just ate these things.
I did not.
You sat back in the cut. You knew it was about to happen. We're running around the house going crazy. Fucking Chris is drinking all the milk. I'm eating fucking bread and shit. Mike's putting like toilet paper in his mouth. It was insane. But yeah, other than that, I've never, because I'm Dominican, I'm a minority. I in general try not to do adventurous things because I like my life. You know what I'm saying? Let's go skydiving. Let's go. Do this. Like, no, we're good. Life is already dangerous enough. We're all right here. But yeah, the Guatemalan sending peppers was pretty crazy, man. And Manny, the way they came out afterward, oh man, the burning.
No.
Anyway, what about the rest of you guys? Brett, I'm going to write
because
I know you got some crazy fucking stories.
I'm actually sitting here like, what can I say on air and what can I not say?
If Adam was here, man, like, hold on, everybody, gather around.
No, that's
Brett. Yeah, it's got to be family friendly.
I'm assuming these are things that you've done on purpose, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, on purpose. On purpose. Not shit that's happened to you.
Not shit that's just happened to you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the katana sword. We're not going to talk about that. Oh God.
There's been a bunch of come back to me.
All right, Carlos.
Well, there's stuff that I can't talk about.
Oh,
which is probably the craziest stuff. I didn't think about food. I did eat in Korea. They do this thing where they chop off an octopus like alive, and you eat the tails. Like right after
you did some what was that movie? The that one movie where he eats the octopus alive?
Was it Old Boy?
Yeah, Old Boy. You pulled an Old Boy?
Kind of. But I didn't eat the head part. But
I mean, wait a minute. Pupo is not a thing for you, right? For Mexico? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty common for
okay.
What's it called? Seafood kind of joints.
Yeah, but, I was never a big fan of Pupo.
Fuck that shit.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I did a BMX for a couple of for a minute for like a summer, I think. That's probably the craziest thing. People almost fell, had the worst cramp in my life. Yeah. There's some stuff you can ask me after the show, but I can't talk about it.
All right, fair enough. Chris.
This is this just food related or
No, it could be anything related, and that you're willing to talk about on air.
Oh, I don't know. All I remember is a work trip to New Orleans like years and years ago. We got wasted after work every day, and I went to this restaurant with a bunch of guys, and we ordered the hottest thing we could, and I got this plate of jambalaya, and I swear I nearly had a heart attack. It was so fucking hot. I was like on fire, and I actually had to go to the bathroom, and I started just pouring tap water into my mouth because it was so fucking hot. I couldn't believe it, and I was drunk at the time, and I still was like, it's like I'm gonna die. I told him I had to leave the restaurant. I'm like, dude, I think I'm dying. Get out of here.
Hilarious. Brian, what you got?
I actually don't have anything. I guess I'll go with like similar answer to Carlos, where I went off-roading in an ATV like when I was like 12 years old, at like a summer event, and that's about it. Again, Tony, like you, I generally try to avoid things that can kill me.
Yeah, and the question was things that you've done, because like, because if it happened to you, then I could say something like the one time we went to visit an aunt near the Haitian border. There were guns involved, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, I've witnessed.
You didn't walk into the situation.
Yeah, I was just there. I was like, oh shit.
You didn't willfully do this thing.
Yeah, or the time my whole family got into a motorcycle accident. That happened to me. It wasn't something that I did on my own.
Like, hey, let's get into a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
One time, my family, I think I told you guys this story. One time, we're going to visit my family in Mexico, and there's this one like small town like that we always stop by to eat food, and we went, and there's a fucking shootout. Like there's people outside shooting people inside, and there's cops and I guess robbers. I don't know what they were, but and then my dad just stayed watching them. Like we were at the parking lot of that place. My dad just stayed there because he wanted to see what was going on. And my mom was just yelling at him, "Get the fuck out of here!" and we did, but yeah, that shit was crazy, but it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Brett.
Yeah, Mob Hits know what's up.
Yeah, cartel stories. Brett, do you have anything?
Okay, it was either probably the time I drove through a tornado or the time that I got thrown out of a strip.
Oh shit! All right. Well, you know what? We'll go with the tornado story.
Wait! Before you start, did you tell Superman not to save you?
Wait, before you go, did you see a cow fly by?
No.
Did you see Bill Paxton?
You see Bill Paxton?
Nope. So this is when some of you guys might be new and might not know. My wife Rachel was going through some treatment. And we were trying everything that we could, including reaching out to some friends in Colorado who got us some Rick Simpson oil. Problem is, Rick Simpson oil isn't legal in that state because it's legal in medical marijuana states. So I assisted her. I'll say this way. I assisted her in helping to recover that from Colorado. I didn't take it. She took it. I just helped her. So we were driving back across the border, which is the worst place to be when you don't want to get pulled over. When a tornado hits and starts basically just plowing down the highway, guy gets all like we didn't like drive through the funnel, but everybody started pulling over under underpasses and everything like that. And we had this moment where we were like, okay, so we can pull over to an underpass, get to this tornado shelter. There's horns blaring, everything's turning electric green. You live in Tornado Alley, you know that's like a really bad sign. And like the wind and the rain is just absolutely insane. So we kind of had this moment where we're like, well, we should probably pull over. Then again, there's not going to be anybody out to pull us over if we just do 90 through this shit. So we can slow down, or we can just say fuck it and just ram right through it. So yeah, we basically rocked like 80, 85 miles an hour. We couldn't hit 90. We were trying to we hit about 88, just about enough time travel.
There you go, man.
And we saw like it kind of in our rear rearview mirror, like not right behind us, but like back on the horizon. Shit was still like, that's why we were going way more than the speed limit, because we're just like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Because at that point you've committed, so you're driving as fast as you can see through the rain in front, trying to kind of keep an eye on which way it's going behind you. Good times.
Wild. Wow, that's a crazy story. Good stuff.
And I will just say this: I got thrown out of a strip club for getting too drunk and telling a stripper to do the hustle.
Yeah, I've been thrown out of clubs too. It's those are fun experiences.
Oh man. All right. That was fun. All right. Next question from Mr. Tumeke. Right. If you hit the jackpot, what would be your big ticket item? Don't be boring and say you saved or invested. This motherfucker, he knew what I was going to answer.
Oh yeah, he knew.
He knew. Do you want a house on a tropical? Examples here: house on a tropical island, penthouse apartment in New York City, supercar, a week-long party in Vegas for all your mates, lifetime subscription to Game Pass, NFTs. Oh man, hilarious! All right, get crazy. What's your big ticket item?
Big ticket item? Wow.
I'd be gone.
You be gone?
Be gone. I'm waiting to go back to Hawaii anyway. I just buy a house
Hawaii,
and cruises.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. House on a tropical island.
Just for me, just to design my own house. That's my big ticket item.
Nice.
Doesn't need to be anywhere special because I could live anywhere. I'm rich. I can have two houses.
Yeah, for me, condo in Manhattan. That's what I want. And I'm gonna make that shit happen. Fuck big ticket item. I'm making that shit happen. All right, Carlos, what about you?
Yeah, I definitely penthouse in Manhattan, or maybe somewhere in one of the West Village places, maybe. But yeah, like a townhouse or something. Yeah, that'd probably be it.
Nice, Brian.
Exactly how much money are we talking here?
Anything, just go nuts.
Let's say $1 billion.
Billions.
Yeah, billions.
Yeah, billion. Pretty much what the lottery was at one point.
Let's assume a good couple of billions, because why the hell not? Again, like with money, I'd build my own house, but I'd build it. I'd stay away from New York. Well, I stay away from most populated places because people are awful. So I'd also stay away from Hawaii because it's a volcano, and no, it's like.
And Brett's gonna be there.
You gotta live a little, Brian.
No, I want to live a lot with the money, not live a little.
Are you telling me you've never wanted a volcano lair?
Yes, it's a volcano. Do you know what volcanoes have inside them?
Sharks with lasers.
Don't go anywhere near 500 miles from Yellowstone. You're gonna
exactly. So like most of that area is just no. So again, I don't know exactly where, but just no. Probably Norway. At least that seems alright, and it looks okay, and have decent internet speeds.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
In Norway, full of geothermal vents.
I can deal with that.
That's just volcanoes.
There are certain parts that I can deal with, but it's less active, so I can deal with that. And plus, you are close to the Northern Lights, so it's decent. Canada, I'm just not dealing with Canadians.
Yeah,
they're fine. They're just too nice.
The leader's kind of whack job, but that's a whole other story. Also, staying away.
Castro's son, right?
Yeah, staying away from. No comment. Staying away from Korea and Japan. I know, Carlos, that sounds weird, but it's just too densely populated, and I'm done with people. So probably there. And because I already built my own house, it will have a runway, and I would have a fighter jet there. Why? Because I'm rich, and why the hell
I'm rich,
would I do that? You know, it's like I'm not gonna just buy a house. No, I'll buy a runway and have a fighter jet. Why? Because who's gonna stop me? Like, what the hell?
Brian,
So, yeah,
you were so
that's-
influenced by GTA. That was fucking, CJ.
CJ's
Remember,
house.
he's living in the hood. He's got a fucking fighter jet right on top of his roof.
Why not? Like, don't be boring and invest money. Like, no, have a fighter jet, and then who will try and steal it from you? No one, because they
Blow 'em
can't
up.
fly it.
Yeah, that's true. You
Exactly.
blow 'em
Because
up.
Norway doesn't have an army.
Oh, damn.
Probably not. And I think that's mostly it. Again, I have no need for anything else. Probably spend the rest funding random stuff. So I'd probably go to like all the YouTubers that I enjoy, throw them some cash. Like go to all the websites that I enjoy, throw them some cash. Try to destabilize some governments because I have money and that's how money works these days. And that's about it.
Good stuff. All right, Chris, what about you? Big ticket item.
I'd probably build a big ranch.
Oh,
down here.
Damn, you really went Texas, didn't you?
Yeah, I would just raise animal. I wouldn't have to work ever, so I could just, raise cattle or whatever. I would just live that life. I'd be like, fuck that. I'm gonna buy cowboy boots and a big hat and ride a horse. Probably not ride a horse. I'll probably get an ATV or something because I'm not riding horses.
Is it El Rey? Will it be Rancho El Rey?
Rancho El Rey. Casa de mi Padre. I'll just ride around and get my cattle, and I live out. But I built a big ass house down here, man. There's so much land. Just buy a big house and just fucking chill out. I don't know about the fighter jet though. Maybe I get a helicopter.
Yeah. Good stuff.
No reason. Man.
Also, I do want to mention, if no one else won the lottery, I would consider relocating all the Throwdown members to New York so we can record podcasts there every week in person.
Actually, if you had that kind of money, you could fly them out every week,
Or that. But that seems more annoying for the people that are actually doing it. So, hey, we could do once a month.
Yeah. By the way, speaking about this question, this is something I'm probably announcing right now. Right now, like, what was it, a few years ago, during an AMA special, we were asked very similar question, right? Where would you like to live, right? And
that was me.
Yeah, that was you, right? And at the time, it was just hilarious how Manny and I kind of wanted to live in nicer parts of Queens, right? And the funny thing is, in about 2 weeks, I've never said this before, I'm actually moving, right? To a nicer part than I wanted to originally. Ain't that something?
Of Queens.
Yeah, of Queens. I'm like, I mean, this is the truth. But now, since I'm like, okay, this is happening. And remember, the whole reason I wanted to move was to get closer to Manhattan. I'm like, I think my next goal will be to live in Manhattan, because that's the only place I travel to. So let's live there, So that's one of my old man Tony goals,
That's the next step.
That's the next step, man. I'll be chilling in the cut, So yeah, we'll see it happen, man. But yeah, I
get that second bedroom for your boys.
Yeah, Yeah, you already know, right? Shit. But yeah, that was why I was like, ooh, like things just got better. Like because I was like, yeah, I want to live in Forest Hills and shit. So I can just take just one train there. And it's like I'll be in the city in 40 minutes. Now I'm like, ooh, I could be in the city in 12 minutes now. So not bad, man. Manhattan. It's crazy about Manhattan. The older I get, the more I love it. I love this fucking city, man. New York for life, Even though they take my fucking money away. Goddamn taxes, bruh. Shit. Man, I made the mistake, man. Because I was calculating some shit. I looked at, just how much they take away from taxes. Like, man, these motherfuckers. A third of my shit just gone. And for nothing, Because
that's what I told you, man.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this from previous experience working full time in NYC. Now this is modern.
Yeah, this is modern,
NYC.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's even worse now.
Yeah, but like I said, my ultimate goal was always to make enough money so I don't have to move, and I'm doing that. And a money situation will obviously get better, so we're good. I do not want to move from fucking New York, man, for life. All right, let us move on here. One subset. All right, this question's hilarious. Who is the biggest farter on Throwdown?
I don't know how I can even confirm that for anybody.
Yeah, how do you even gauge that shit?
Maybe you and Manny know, and Manny and Adam wouldn't know about each other, but I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not anybody on the show, but my brother.
Uh-oh.
He was the farter, and alternatively, my father.
No, I'm not really a farter like that. Like if I eat something, that it shouldn't have, obviously. But no, generally speaking, no, not really. Anybody willing to admit their gastrointestinal history here? Fucking wild. I just imagine the basis of the question, that we were all sitting around with each other, yeah, who farts the most? Who talks like that? You know?
They could say not me. Rachel used to make fun of me.
Oh yeah, for not farting.
Yeah, she's like, I've been married to this motherfucker for like 5 years. I've never heard him fart.
I've heard of people who never fart, which is fucking weird.
I burp.
Yeah,
I burp. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
I've got stomach issues, which is why that seems weird because you'd think it'd go the opposite direction.
Yeah,
but
that is true. Yeah.
No, but you probably get one of those crazy burps though, those deep burps.
Yeah, like I get like exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Another one from one subset. What is the worst thing that a significant other has done to your console or games because she was angry with you?
I mean, I haven't really had anything bad, though sometimes Jossie will stand in front of the TV.
Yeah, but she's not going to ruin your console because she's a gamer too. She understands.
No, she's not going to ruin it, but she just to get my attention, she'll just stand in front of the TV and I'll be like this, and she'll go.
See, with this question, I feel all of us would have just looked at Adam, you know?
I mean, to be honest, I mean, it seems like it seems like his wife is just sort of lets him do what he does.
What about all the girlfriends he's had? Any of those? Because some of them have been crazy based on his stories.
No, nobody's ever really smashed his consoles or anything like that.
Yeah,
they've done other fucked up things there, but to him, but not smashed any consoles.
Yeah. Anybody? Yeah, I haven't had that situation happen. Anybody here? Because again, most of us kind of hang out with gamer chicks, so they kind of understand. Don't fuck with consoles. You know.
I'm kind of quite the opposite. None of my girlfriends have ever been gamers, so every time I'm in a serious relationship, I hardly ever game. Hardly ever game even right now.
Yo, you hiding it, man. You hiding the nerdness.
You have officially been you are dubbed a casual gamer, or what I consider a casual gamer.
Yo, man,
he's more casual than you. You know,
more casual than me.
Your gaming habit when you're dating somebody who's not into it. It's one of the reasons I'm like, probably would only consider dating somebody if they were into gaming. Like, I'm not giving that shit up at this point in my life.
Know?
Yeah, I don't. At this stage, I probably would have said that maybe 15 years ago. But even then, like, I remember being in college and just never gaming because that just wasn't something that we would do. Same thing.
Oh, yeah, back in the day, you kind of kept that under wraps, yeah. But
yeah, I
do that now, you know.
Yeah, I don't need to do that now, but even in my last relationship, like the last thing I wanted to do was play a video game with her.
Yeah,
it just seemed like there's like 1,000 other things that we could have done that would have been better.
Much better.
Yeah, my thing is like, as long as they respect gaming, that's fine. That's the bare minimum. But if they're like, I'm against gamer, okay, bye. You know. I remember somebody asked this on Twitter, just a hypothetical question. It's like, if you're on a date somebody and they go, I hate gaming and I think gaming is stupid. Like, what would you do? And I'm like, I was halfway serious, half joke. I'm like, I would just leave her with the check, you know, because there's no point continuing, you know?
Yeah. But I wouldn't be opposed to dating a gamer girl. It's never happened, but wouldn't be opposed.
What about an e-girl, man?
Well, that's not real. So it's
Yeah, a lot of those girls now to get into it, they pretend, you know, like you've seen that shit. It's like a girl in like some hot cosplay, or not even cosplay, just a hot girl. Hey, Pokemon fans, what are you thinking about? It's like, come on, really? That's like SEO bait right there, you know.
that's a real life SEO.
It really is, you know. Like, hey, anime fans, what do you think? You know, what are you watching? It's like, do you even watch anime? It's hilarious, man. But you know, thirsty motherfuckers, hey, girl, I love My Hero Academia, you know?
I like macadamians, too.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, good stuff. Moving on here. Mob Hits. And he's been joining us tonight, hasn't he? By the way, who threw us bits before, man? I heard the cash going.
Well, I saw that Barry Burton gifted another subscription to Mr. Tumeke. So shout out to Barry Burton. Shout out to Tumeke also.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. Piggy Dan, let's go with the bits.
Oh, dude.
I love it.
He's like, not me.
He's like, not me. Ding, 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 ding. I love it. All right. Mob Hits, he goes, once again, fellas, congrats on 400 episodes. You guys are the best. My man.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Ooh, this one's interesting.
Oh.
Does anyone on the panel smoke weed? If you do, does it help you function or is it purely for recreation?
I don't know. I don't know where the setup is.
Look at the green guy. There you go. Danny, just point under you.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
That guy over there.
I just need to say I have officially no idea what they're talking about.
Oh, Dirk!
Man, I still remember when fucking Brett and Rachel came over. I've never seen people smoke that much weed in my life. And I live in the projects.
Yeah. No, I can say that I'm a medical smoker. I smoke. I joke like I'm smoking like I smoke like I'm about to put out a rap album.
You really do. Oh man.
I'm a medical smoker though, and it actually helps me function quite a bit. I'd probably need to take 4 medications to replace it. I mean, it helps with my back pain, helps with my stomach issues, stimulating appetite so that I can eat as much as I need to. And it also helps me with some of the PTSD that comes along with being widowed, which fucking sucks. So, it all in all just actually makes me feel better. And that's the weird thing I will say, too. Like, I've known a lot of people, and they'll just smoke, and they'll get just real high. They get less functional the more they smoke. I'm one of those weird people that's kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. I tend to get more productive and more just there when I smoke. I mean, Tony will pretty much back me up. Like, I didn't turn into fucking Chong, man, when I fucking smoked some weed, man. Doesn't happen. Fuck, I've been taking dabs this whole show.
We saw a little bit of that.
Hilarious.
We were like, who turned on the smoke machine?
Fuck that, man. I pressed my own rosin. I'm a high class motherfucker.
Yeah, Carlos, you were saying something?
In my early 20s was that phase, but I never did it. I only did it recreationally. Never did it because, I needed it. So, yeah, I haven't really done that much since. So,
yeah, I've tried it various times, and I'm not as anxious person. I don't have anxiety. I get anxiety on that shit hardcore. So I'm like, this isn't fun. And also with weed, at least for me, it's like fucking a gorilla. You ain't done until the gorilla's done. At least with alcohol, if I don't want to be drunk anymore, there's things I could do to mitigate it. Take a piss, eat some more food. With weed, it's like, no, bitch. Get your head down, keep it down there. We ain't done yet, so it's like, I'm good, and also, see, I like the way Brett does it because it's medicinal. I just know so many people who just destroyed their lives. I have a very bad view of that shit, Manny and I, one of the reasons we became friends is because one friend that we had that were mutual friends, he became a big weed guy. We didn't like that, and then we started hanging out together, but in general, I'm not trying to pass judgment on anyone here. Just for me, I find smoking in general to be a horrible habit. Like any kind of smoke, like, no, I'm good. You want to smoke, you go right ahead. This is America, but for me, not really into that stuff.
Yeah, never really cared for it. Don't care for the smell of it, but some people need it, like Brett. I mean,
yeah, so that's good.
And some people, some people it helps a lot. So it's like, it's not for me, but yeah, I've never done it. I know plenty of people who do it though.
Oh yeah, especially in our circles,
But it's
not our direct circle, just like kind of outside circle,
the outer skirts. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Very different very different reactions for different people.
Yeah.
So, our one friend of ours who was Jong, he did it and he'd just become paranoid as fuck.
Yeah.
Our other buddy Ralph, it really didn't affect him. He was always almost high. So
yeah. Except for the reason the band broke up is because he sold a computer for $40 for weed.
Yes,
that
was the part.
Computer with all of our songs on it, but he needed weed, so he sold the computer for $40. So yeah, most of my experiences with weed and people
can I just
bad,
say, that's not being a stoner. That's being a thief.
Yeah, that's being an asshole. Fucking addict. But the thing is, he didn't do it behind the scenes. He told us, like, yo, I sold the computer for weed. He was upfront about it.
I mean,
like,
you can blame it on the weed, like, motherfucker, like, nobody's going through weed withdrawals. Like, nobody, you're fine. Like, you don't need to sell the computer for weed. You wanted to sell the computer for weed. Hold it, like, different ballgame, man. This isn't like an alcoholic getting the shakes here.
Yeah, it's insane. This guy would smoke weed for everything. I got to take a shit, smoke. Everything. I got to cook, smoke. And like everything.
Oh, one of those fucking guys. It's like, wow, weed makes everything better, man.
It's insane.
Right now, he hasn't done it in a while. He hasn't done
anything. Yeah. So good on him.
Still acts the same though.
He hasn't changed. He hasn't changed.
It's not the weed. It's just the guy.
It's the guy. It's just Ralph. You know, I've never met another weed smoker like him. You know. Chris, I know you have partaken before. I've seen you.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a while. And it was a few times I tried it.
Yeah. Pig Dan, you sorry, but to be blunt, is that
blunt? Yo, Pig Dad says Pig Dad says that weed smells like a fanboy's basement.
Oh damn.
It's hilarious.
It just sounds funny. I don't like the smell either. It's
no, I don't care for the smell.
I don't care for it.
There's a few people who started smoking in our building. I just hate that smell.
It's disgusting. Especially where I live, man, that gack shit. Ugh. You know?
Yeah, in New York, you get that whiff every other block.
Now you do, especially since they fucking decriminalized it. You know, it wasn't like that before, Carlos.
No, it wasn't like that.
Like, I'm going to work. Actually, my way to work, there's fucking weed trucks everywhere now.
Yeah, you know? there's actually weed shops now. I remember I was up there in the city not long, and then like there's literally a line going out the door. I'm like, oh, what's these people with? Oh.
Like, hey, man.
No, it's more like, hey guys, how's it going? You want some of the
hey, yo, want this smoke? Yo, want this smoke? That's how it usually is in New York.
That's the old days, man.
Yeah. yo, want some weed? Brian, what about you?
Nope, never did. Just have no interest in it. So no.
All right. Good stuff. Next up, Mob Hit's trying to get us in trouble.
Oh.
I'm just gonna give I'm just gonna encourage you guys to give a one-word answer. But if you want to go say more, that's on you. Do you prefer boobies or booty? Tits or ass?
I'm a tit man myself.
I like. I'm of the Sir Mix-a-Lot persuasion.
I will agree. I am the Sir Mix-a-Lot equation.
I am the Sir Mix-a-Lot equation.
Persuasion, motherfuckers.
I guess I'll say ass man since you guys are too prude.
Yes, Chris.
Boobs.
All right, I think we got everybody here. All right, let's move on before we get in trouble.
By the way, we the Latinos did live up to the stereotype.
We really didn't we? I just realized that. Jesus. Hey, oh my.
There's nothing wrong with appreciating the female form.
You know, I like all the parts of the women's though. You know. All right, moving on. Kiss Shack in the house. Carlos, get ready for this one.
Oh, what happened?
Does rice belong in burritos?
Oh,
so he goes. It's just carbs on carbs, and it seems like a waste of space instead of better ingredients.
It's 100% a waste of ingredients, and is 100% blasphemous to what a burrito is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Rice is an American thing. That's the gringos doing all this stuff. That's they're feeding that, you know. They're feeding that cultural appropriation into your asses. We're supposed to get rid of this. That's my agenda in life.
Here's the thing. No. Okay, so no. Here's the thing, Carlos, and you opened my eyes because I've never had Mexican food until I came to this country, right? So like rice and burritos, that's just the way it always was, you know? And then you told me that's not the way it's supposed to be. When you said that, I'm like, oh, that actually makes more sense. Instead of like piling in 50 different ingredients, like here's a burrito for this, a burrito for that. Like, okay, that actually makes more sense to me. Granted, I still fucking eat rice burritos because that's what I'm used to. I'm like, I want a meal, just throw everything in there. Actually, Carlos, what's your take on burrito bowls?
Well, they have nothing to do with burritos.
You don't get that.
It's all it is just rice, meat, and
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you could, is the halal guys thing taco bowl or so? It's like they have rice might as well. Shit, Yeah, so it's dumb. It's an American thing, and I do want to say that I do have the authority since I grew up in the place where pretty much invented it. So
and you're Mexican.
Yes, that helped.
To me, that's your only authority. like listen to the Mexican guy.
Well,
I do want to mention this because there is controversy in this. There's a whole lot of controversy in this whole
controversy.
Very controversial.
It is indeed very controversial. And Brett, I got the joke last show, so
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I no one else got it, but I did. So just wanted to let you know.
I still don't get it.
Brett said very controversial during the show when Rich was talking, and no one got it.
Oh shit!
No, yeah. Rich said it was controversial, and I asked him if it was a little controversial or if it was a lot controversial.
Shout out to Richard Bailey Jr., man.
Yeah, shout out to Rich. Is Southern Mexicans, they don't eat burritos, so whatever they say, you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's Northern Mexicans in particular. Northern Mexicans from the state of Chihuahua that you have to take into account because that's where it was invented. So yeah, a lot of the what burritos are now, they're more popular in America than they are in Mexico.
Oh, wow,
because
interesting.
Everyone eats a fucking burrito in the U.S.
And burritos for that shit.
And burritos are not real. Burritos are not nearly that huge.
Oh yeah, they're not.
That's what they call the mission style burrito.
It's an amalgamation of things, and they've added a whole bunch of stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that they taste bad. They definitely don't. But they're definitely not true to what they are. So.
Yo, I'm laughing right now because it's right though. How big they're. Like if I have a burrito, I feel like Snorlax afterwards. Like whoa, this is so much,
They also make it with the wrong. Don't they make it with the wrong type of like it's not like it's like
the tortilla and shit or whatever.
The tortilla is different on them too.
No, the tortilla is pretty much the same. It's a flour tortilla. Northern Mexicans are notorious for using flour tortillas. And
why are you talking shit about Southern Mexicans, man?
They don't like. They don't. They. It's mostly corn with them.
Yeah,
corn tortillas.
Okay.
It's the
maize.
Yeah, with the maize and
maize, the fucking white people and shit.
Yeah, some people call it maize. So yeah, so Manny, they do that. Mostly, it's just everything else that comes with it.
All right, good stuff. Does anybody else have? You know what? We just listen to Carlos. He's the expert on burritos. So listen to him.
And I know. And shout out to Mopeds. I'm pretty sure he knows his stuff too.
Yeah.
Since that was still on this topic, then Carlos, what would you call the perfect burrito?
Oh,
like what would you put inside it?
So. The burrito is mostly just the cooked what do you call it? We call it like it's like the filling, but it's like what it is. Like so it's a stew, like it's a goddamn, how do you say it? The ingredient within, it's not like an American burrito is just an amalgamation of a whole shitload of stuff just jumped into a tortilla. But really, burritos are just supposed to be like one or two ingredients at the most. Beans have to be there, refried beans, and the other ingredient can be anything. It can be any sort of meat dish. It can be any sort of pork dish. There's a lot of stuff. There's stuffed peppers with cheese. They're called chile rellenos that are really good. There's one of my favorite ones is barbacoa. and I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. I know probably the Hispanics have heard of the name barbacoa. That's where barbecue comes from. The name barbecue.
I know about barbacoa.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
Fucking delicious. So are the ones with all the condiments? Are those the tacos?
The ones.
I'm sorry, I figured you were saying it in your native accent, so I needed to do the same.
In your native accent. A tacos. I got that shit.
It's a taco.
So
they make it out of maize.
Yes. So tacos are strictly maize or corn based tortillas. Flours, that's not a thing. People do it, but it's not canon. Tacos normally have the meat. They have cilantro or cilantro and raw onions, lime, and a salsa, whichever salsa you pick. That's the staple.
And it's usually it's obviously the soft tacos and not the stupid shells that we have.
Yeah, it's not those Taco Bell shells things. Mm-hmm. There are Mexicans who do. There's the tortillas. There are Mexicans who do crunchy tacos, but they're nothing like the tacos that Taco Bell makes. So yeah. Everything else is headcanon.
Headcanon. Good stuff, man. All right, next question from Kid Shack. Trying to get us in trouble, I swear, man.
Uh-oh.
What video game character would have the most successful OnlyFans?
Oh my god!
I'm not even answering this shit.
I'm responsible to no one.
Oh my god! It would be hilarious. Bayonetta. There you go.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I would say in the most recent one, Lady Dimitrescu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she probably would, yeah.
I think I know the answer to this one, actually.
Go ahead.
I think the internet has already spoken, and it's Tifa Lockhart.
Yeah, oh, shit, you're right.
Oh, man.
It is Tifa.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
it could be Princess Peach.
It could be that, too, yeah.
Or even Zelda.
No, what was the name of that one? Bowsette, right?
No, she's not a canon. She's not a canon
Not a
character,
canon, but
though.
some OnlyFans girls made a lot of bank with that cosplay, you know?
I'd say every single character of this old game, which you guys may remember playing or not, depending. Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Oh, son of a bitch. I was going to say.
All the characters from...
Pretty much is an OnlyFans.
What's her name?
Here's a throwback, Rumble Roses, you know?
Rumble Roses, yep. The Konami wrestling game.
Mm-hmm. All right, just get out of
I
here.
don't know. There's too many.
Let's
get out of this one.
Yeah, all right.
Hell no.
We got a couple questions. Who is this? Eurocar 9? Not 8 or 10, but 9. You know?
What happened to the first 8?
I don't know, man.
he Eurocar 9 ran him off the road.
He did.
Did you kill the first? Car. Did he kill the first 8 Eurocars?
Yeah.
Is it Highlander rules?
It was the only one.
No, there was only one.
All right. In your opinion, what is the greatest live-action TV show you've ever watched?
Ooh,
it's a good question.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go first. Star Trek TNG. That's the GOAT right there. After starting with season 3, obviously. That's the first 2 seasons are a little rocky there. You know?
I will say, Twilight Zone.
Ah, that's a good one. All right.
Nothing like a good anthology show.
Yes. Chris.
Man, it's tough because I would say Star Trek originally, but man, when I was a kid, I watched a bunch of stuff. I guess I'd pick my favorite. So I'm going to pick original series Star Trek.
Nice. Brian.
I don't know, because I not watched like the great like Star Trek and what's not, and even X-Files. I've not seen them, but
it's in your opinion, your experience, what you've seen.
I'd say the first 2 seasons of Black Mirror.
Nice.
Because if you actually go back and watch them, you're like, oh, that's actually happening now. It's like, or something's akin to it, you know? So, yeah.
Can I rephrase that for Brian? The British portion of Black Mirror.
Yeah, hence the first 2 seasons.
He said Downton Abbey. No.
Yeah.
No,
By the way, this might be cheating an honorable mention for me. Deep Space Nine was fucking good, man. I didn't like the way it ended too much, but like when it was on, man.
Yeah, those stupid Power Wraith episodes. The Wraither.
All right. Brett, favorite live action TV show?
As maybe kind of controversial,
Uh-oh.
but I think it's Peacemaker.
Really? Out of everything you've seen?
That is controversial.
Very controversial. Oh, yeah.
Dude, like
Brett,
when I saw Peacemaker, I was like, this shit was made just for me.
Oh, wow. High praise.
Because Brett, I if I were to answer for you just off of knowing you, I would have said Firefly. So that isn't.
I had thought about that. But I'm like, I got to really sit there and think. And maybe it's just because I've been sitting with the bad taste of there's never any more Firefly for like 20 years now. Yeah. But I really went back and think, I was like, which would I rather go back and watch though? I'd definitely rather go back and watch Peacemaker.
Wow, interesting.
That shit is tits.
All right, Carlos, for no reason whatsoever, leaving you for last. What's your favorite show of all time?
That's a good question. I've thought about this, and it's between two shows. Number one, well, I'll give number two. I'll give number two, and then I'll give number one. But number two could have easily been number one, but for reasons that I'll mention later, it's not number one. So number two is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was in a trajectory to be something that nothing could ever beat. A high fantasy show with it's not even high fantasy. It's like a fantasy show with a lot of political drama that, with great characters and everything, and some of the best fight scenes ever in a show. It competes with movies sometimes. But those last 2 seasons, even though I don't think they're as bad as people say they are, they did take a dip. And I got no one to blame other than Benioff and Weiss for committing to those stupid Star Wars movies. Just another thing that Star Wars has ruined in this fucking world. So that's why it's number two. Number one, The Sopranos. It's comfort food for me, and it's high quality comfort food. And there's a reason, and it's boring because a lot of people put it at the top. But there's a reason why it's at the top, and it's fucking great. So The Sopranos for me is my number one.
Nice. All right, another one from Eurocar 9. What is one major scientific achievement you think will be accomplished in your lifetime?
True AI.
What was that?
True AI.
True AI?
Yeah, like a truly finished working AI model. A full synthetic neural network.
On the other end, I hope I do not live to see that.
You're already damn near a cyborg anyway.
No.
I think if that happens, we won't live to see anything else.
Yeah, I think, once that happens, Skynet judgment.
What makes you guys think that we're not going to be the robot overlords? Like, that's always been my question.
Yeah.
Well, then that's transhumanism.
I'm a transhumanist. That's why I'm like, I'm going to be on the robot side. I don't know where you guys are going to be. You're already using cell phones and shit, so.
I'm not going to live in a...
You want to be the bicentennial man, don't you?
Man.
There's no...
Right. I mean, we already live in every other part of a cyberpunk dystopia.
Yeah, right. Man. All right, Manny, what about you?
What do they call it? Consumer space travel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not low Earth orbit or anything like that.
Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah. I'll go next to Mike's is similar. Before I die, I want to see people land on Mars. That'll be fucking amazing.
Well, no, it's not what you want. It's what do you think
that could happen. Yeah, that could happen. I think that could happen in my lifetime, like 40 years from now. I think it could happen.
It'll be either Elon Musk or the Amazon guy.
Yeah. So I think people landing on Mars will happen. All right, Carlos.
Tony took my choice. Yeah, I think we're gonna colonize Mars before I die.
Yeah.
That is,
by the
if
way,
I
Carlos,
die.
my other answer, and I'm pretty sure you would have get this too. Fusion, but I don't think we're gonna see that. I don't think we're gonna see that in my lifetime.
That's definitely not gonna be in our
Cold
lifetime.
fusion.
Now, especially that,
or not even the Goten Trunks version either.
Yeah.
I think that also I think we're gonna get in the next 20 years we're gonna go a long way when it comes to cancer research. Maybe that's just me being wishfully thinking, but I think we'll get somewhere in the next 20 years. And but yeah, the colonizing Mars, I'm pretty sure when I'm 80 years old, if I get to that age, there's gonna be people that are gonna be already there.
See, I'm pulling it back a little bit. I don't think we're gonna colonize Mars. I think we're gonna land people there. Whether they live after that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna set foot on Mars. That's as far as I'm willing to go. I don't know about colonies. But yeah. All right, Chris. That you think, scientific thing that you think will happen in your lifetime?
I think quantum computing will happen.
Ooh.
Chris, you got me back.
Because I think is close. There's been a lot of like kind of vague claims like D-Wave and all that stuff, but I think it'll happen in a lifetime.
Yeah, quantum computing is a good one because
that's a good one.
We're already there. Essentially, it's just trying to figure out how to make it sustainable and obviously how to make it useful for the mass consumer.
Hey, Carlos, funny enough, that's where we are kind of with fusion. We know we could kind of make it work. It's just not for long,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're almost there. All right, Brian, do you have another answer besides quantum computing?
No, that's it. Because again, I thought that again we're just approaching the point where it's just harder and harder to get faster and faster devices. So at some point we'll need to make that leap.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, it must happen soon enough since we're getting closer and closer to it.
Yeah. Right,
Yo, man, if I was like 12 years old right now, I'd be like, yo, man, we'll get a Dyson Sphere by then.
Yeah, no. That ain't happening, All right, good answers, man. All right, sponsored questions now.
We got sponsors?
By a very generous person, Mr. Romuald.
Real quick, can I throw a wrench in that last question?
Sure.
So they're actually in the animal testing stage of certain methods that can not just extend longevity, but actually turn back the clock of aging. Not sure if you've seen the picture of the two twin mice that look really, really different, but they're twins. But if this, because that would honestly be my second thing that I would say is they very well may come up with a way to prolong life and or reverse aging, because they're really working on it and they're really getting pretty close. So that's kind of a tricky thing, because if that happens in your lifetime, then it extends your lifetime and a whole bunch of other things happen.
That's right.
Then I'll get my Dyson Sphere.
Yeah, right. There you go. I'm just wondering if one of those mice is like yelling at other mice to get off his lawn,
Dude, like one is all gray and like hunchback and shit. The other one is like all sleek and brown and fit.
No, that's wild.
You're not my brother.
You're not my brother.
Yeah. One looks like fucking Palpatine.
Oh, shit. All right, some sponsored questions here. First one is from Mob Hits. If you could build your fantasy food dish, what would be on it? And there is no limit what could be on the plate.
Nah, just put a pizza. That's my fantasy food plate.
Yeah, I'm just as boring as man. I'm like, just give me a burger and fries.
Give me a good pizza. Yeah.
I'll keep it simple.
Give me a pizza from my favorite pizza place. I'm good.
Hey, all right. Brian.
Good question. Ideal dish. See, firstly, it has to deal with oxtail, because oxtail is just amazing.
Oxtail is delicious. Yeah.
Oxtail is delicious.
Yeah, it is
Oxtail
really good.
soup is amazing.
So
put that in some sancocho, man. Oh yeah.
So I'm just trying to think like what's the best use of oxtail to like maximize its flavor, and I'm thinking burger, since again it's lots of meat in there, so hence you really get the full oxtail flavor, or you maximize the oxtailness of the dish. Putting it on a pizza, I think might be a waste since just not as much oxtail, and everything else sounds like a waste. So I think some sort of oxtail burger, and toppings, I don't think they matter all that much as long as they're half decent.
All right, cool. Chris.
Oh, I'm a simple man. Like a good cheeseburger and steak fries.
Ooh,
I'd be happy.
That's good. That's good. Brett.
The meat dish from Monster Hunter.
Made by the cat.
I like
made
that
by
one.
the cat.
I don't get it. If it has to be made by a cat to be as good as that shit looks, fine. I don't care.
Yeah, you'll eat some cat hair. It's all good, you know. Good stuff. All right, Carlos.
So it's interesting because I'm reading this
Hey, yo,
question.
Carlos, I got another one, man. The bomb. Let's go with that sandwich.
The bomb. Yo, man.
Oh, that's a good sandwich.
The bomb is a candidate, but I will say this: I read the question differently from you guys because when I heard like what would be your fantasy dish, for me it sounds like something that I can't get easily.
That's why I said the Monster Hunter. I heard it as what would be your fantasy dish.
Yeah, because stuff like pizza and tacos and stuff like I could get them whenever I want, but something that's sort of kind of farther away from me is good sushi. So I think
I just realized something. The guys who gave the most boring answers to the New York guys, the guys who could just kind of get whatever food they want from anywhere in the world. So we were spoiled. We're privileged that way,
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, what food can't I get?
A good Mexican food.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's true. Well, even from actual Mexican joints, man.
Nah, there's some legit places in
Because
in
if I
Queens
go to
especially.
a place, man, I don't want those motherfuckers speaking a word of English. That's how you know it's real.
Jackson Heights, Corona, you're good.
Yep, exactly.
There's a good. Oh, by the way, there's a good. Someone mentioned birria in the chat. There's a good and there's two of them that I've seen that I went to maybe 3 times when I was there. There's this taco truck called Birrialandia, and they serve birria tacos and consomme. Amazing, man, great stuff. It's one of them is in Jackson Heights, and the other one I had in Williamsburg.
Yeah. But if the question is about fantasy food, yeah, those dishes from Final Fantasy 15, fuck, give me one of those.
That whole cookbook.
Yeah, the whole cookbook. All right. Everybody went right with this one. I think we all went. All right. Next question. Oh, another sponsored one, an extra one from Eurocar9. Okay. Name 3 historical figures, alive or dead, that you would like to have dinner with. And just for the purpose of this, so we have time travel and we have translators, right?
Yeah, I talked to him beforehand.
All right, sure.
We're assuming that you could speak the same language.
It's a tough one.
I'll say Samuel Clemens. Mark Twain. That's just a joke answer. Misguided.
yeah, only if he acts like the TNG version.
Only if he acts exactly like that. Yes, misguided.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody have any answers here?
Man, I don't know. That's a deep question. I have to think about that.
Yeah, because it's like, what would I have to talk to these people about? And why would they care to talk to me? So, I don't know. Like, what am I going to talk to Julius Caesar about,
Yes.
Like, hey, what about the English, Like, I don't know.
Could you talk to him at all? Would he
That's what I'm
understand
saying. Hey, if it do, Caesar,
Well, no, I mean, if he's being played by Peter Capaldi, you could totally understand.
Or Charlton Heston, you know.
Here's the thing, man. Like I go by the never meet your heroes thing. Like I don't want to like invite Aristotle over just to find out he's super racist.
Well, he probably was racist.
Well, yeah, more
That's
than
what I'm saying. Like, it was a different time back in ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't want to actually meet what's his face, H.P. Lovecraft, because that guy, that guy,
colors, you know.
That guy is literally what internet people are right now. That's what that guy is.
You know, I'd like to talk to Robert E. Howard, the creator of Conan. I think that'd be interesting because he's this crazy Texan guy, you know.
He committed suicide, didn't he?
Yes, he did, you know. All right,
like, don't do it.
Like, don't do it, man. Don't do it. It's all good, you know.
They're gonna fuck up your You're gonna fuck up your creation. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. If nobody has answers, we can just move on. I don't
know. Maybe possibly, I would like to possibly meet Frank Frazetta, and he hasn't been dead that long. But back in the day, you used to be able to go up to his home. There was in Pennsylvania. He has the Frazetta Museum, and he used to pop in and talk to the people that would come there. Yeah. And my friend Mark actually got to meet Frank Frazetta, but I would have liked to have talked to him.
Yeah, I just don't know what I would talk to these people about, you know?
I mean, the commonality is just the work, the artwork. That was what I would think. Just just talking process and how he gets there and stuff like that. Yeah. Because each one of us has our own sort of formula to the creation of art. No two artists' solution is the same. Yeah. So I've always been interested in, just hearing how people sort of just get to that get to their solution.
I have three.
All right, go ahead.
I would talk to they're all completely different. Well, kind of, but they're completely different. One of them is Kurt Cobain.
Interesting.
As I would like to talk to him about music. I would like to share our love for the Beatles, and just jam out. I think that'd be cool, and just get to know the person. Number 2 would be Robin Williams, because that'd be a good time. Oh, Razor, to do all the characters and stuff.
Like, hey, how's it going? Yeah.
And number 3 is a wild card, and you're gonna be like, what? And yeah, might be right. Napoleon Bonaparte.
I was thinking about him, but what would you talk to him about,
What the hell was he thinking going to Waterloo?
Yeah, right.
What he could have conquered the whole fucking planet.
Yeah.
He fucked up. And I just, I was just going to ask him, what were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
Bro, how do you not know tin gets brittle when it freezes?
Yeah.
He's one of the most, he's probably the most clever military minds to ever live. Yeah. And it's, just be interesting.
Hey, there you go. Napoleon would eat the pig. Ziggy Pig. Yes. Oh, man. Yeah, no, he's one of the greatest military minds of all time. He's up there with like fucking Alexander the Great, Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, my thing is like, I don't know what I would talk to these people about,
Yo, man, Mighty Nerd said King Leonidas. It was like, you talk to King Leonidas and put 300 on?
Yeah, right? Yeah, he's like, look at this shit. Like, yo, don't trust this motherfucker over here. Oh, man.
There's a 50-foot Egyptian guy that's coming toward you. Don't make sure you take him out early.
Yeah. All right, let's moving on here. We got another sponsored one. And E-Man Land sponsoring a question from one subset. He goes,
whoa, who is that?
Who's E-Man? He's very generous,
Who's that? I don't
know. He goes, I know some of you are related, but how did the Throwdown guys meet?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can start this one off.
Well, the first of all is me and Adam are actually cousins. And Tony, was just has been a long time friend. Well, like we went to junior high together. As Tony actually said earlier on, we sort of connected through another friend of ours who essentially just became like a drug head. And we didn't want to deal with that, and we just sort of became friends from there. This is like 90s.
Yeah.
90.
93. Think about it, man. We would have
93?
Like September next year, we'd have known each other for 30 fucking years.
30 fucking years. So that's crazy.
Wild.
So yeah, and that came from that. And then for Chris, I just met him, because we used to go to the School of Visual Arts. So he was going to night school, and we just sort of, started hanging out from there. That's like in the 2001, 2002 time. Let's see, and now the rest of everybody else is, obviously, Brian was a member of STFU and Play. He used to do articles and stuff for Torrance Davis. We have Brett too. Brett was actually, it was originally Rachel that was writing for STFU and Play, but when we started doing Throwdown, she was like, "Hey, I got my husband here who's also into this stuff too. It'd be great to have him on." So we sort of got him on there, and then Mr. Carlos Romero.
Yeah, with Brett, we just had him on as a guest. Like, hey, we like the cut of this guy's jib. He's a regular now.
Yeah. So and then Carlos Romero, he was doing a show on STFU and Play, which was the Fan Zone, and we just sort of. But as time progressed, we're like, hey, Carlos is a really cool dude, and we were doing the Walking Dead
Game of Thrones podcast. We did like
Game of Thrones. Yeah, there we go.
Then we did Tanime. We're like, let's get Carlos on, and then he just natural fit for Throwdown as well.
Yeah, so it's all sort of connected. All connected.
Good stuff.
The funny thing is, I started doing after Fan Zone, the next podcast I did was The Walking Dead with Tony and Riku.
Yes, right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is ironic because now I do a podcast with Adam and Rich.
Full circle, baby. Full circle, Good stuff.
Yeah. Wasn't it also that Riku couldn't remember anybody?
Yeah,
the cave, the character's name is like, yo, that.
Yeah, we can't say what Riku said. Like, yo, that. Yeah. So we're like, let's get Carlos on. He actually knows the names.
Yeah.
Hilarious. All right. Next up, we got Logic Wins. Oh, this one is interesting. In your opinion, why is metal and hard rock no longer mainstream in America? Feel free to get conspiratorial. I don't think it's conspiracy here. It's just, people prefer, hip hop and, EDM now. My personal opinion is, I think, because that type of music is very, for lack of a better term, very like manly, right? And that's not those kind of frowned upon in society now. And there's also, you have to be very proficient with your instruments. You got to, it's like very, you need merit to be like a proper rock musician, and that's kind of frowned upon in society now. It's just easier to push a button and let music just play it or whatever.
That's not to say
that's my personal opinion.
That's not to say that the people that do that don't have a talent. You still have to have an ear for that stuff. But yeah, it's a lot easier to become a DJ than it is to actually become a full-on musician. You need to really know your stuff in order to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, a lot of the rappers who do go out and do their thing, a lot of them bring a live group with them. They're not always spinning records.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously there's other factors, because hard rock really thrived on like album sales and all that. Obviously with concerts, but nobody buys albums anymore, so it's only in the live scene where it's kind of thriving, but it's not thriving. It's just existing. Also the music itself is not really doing anything interesting now. It's funny because like I kind of stopped listening to like newer metal for like 5 years. I came back. I'm like, this shit still sounds the same like it did 5 years ago.
It's not. It hasn't changed that much.
It's not bad. It's just nothing's really changed here, and it seems like most of the fans are just like the older heads and stuff like us. So yeah, I as far as I'm concerned, rock is dead. It's funny because people have been saying, "Oh, rock will never die." It died like 5 years ago or something.
I wouldn't say it's dead. I just would say it's to be honest, it's just sort of slipped into the underground.
Yeah. Where it probably should be, to be honest.
I mean, to be honest, it's like it's been like that for a long time now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say the '80s and then possibly the '90s were like the biggest points of heavy metal and hard rock.
The last big resurgence of this stuff was in the early 2000s, right before the whole Napster shit took over, right? Like that, like not even like my opinion. It's actually factual that that's when hard rock was at its zenith in terms of sales. Metal and all that, but then after that,
you all fell off.
It's sad, man.
Blame Metallica.
I do have some thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I feel like every genre goes in its phases where it's at the top. There was a point where jazz was at the top. There's a point where crooners were at the top, like Frank Sinatra and those kinds of people, and then rock came into the scene in the late 50s, and then it blew up, and that was the mainstream music.
Yeah.
Kind of sort of towards, maybe the 90s. And also I do want to mention that a big factor to why rock isn't as relevant as it used to be is because it's not danceable.
People do like dancing,
Yeah, that's why EDM is such a big thing. And yeah, like Tony mentioned, it stopped kind of progressing. Yeah. Where it's more like everyone sounds like a cover band now.
Yeah. What's that group you like? The one that sounds like Led Zeppelin?
Oh, I don't like them.
Yeah,
but Greta Van Vliet.
Again, they're cool, but it's like it's like a stunt almost. Like, hey, how much like Zeppelin can they sound like?
The last rock bands that I love. Because I'm not a rock fan anymore. I listen to old shit. I'm more of a hip hop fan now. But the last great rock bands from my era were like the Strokes and the Arctic Monkeys. Like those are bands that I fucking love, and and I think everything fell off after that for me. But yeah, that's and they were kind of sort of a knockoff of kind of older retro style rock music. But yeah, I mean, it had a good run. I mean, it lasted longer than disco.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah, I guess it had to end eventually, All right, moving on here. Another one from Logic Wins. Ooh, controversy now.
Oh. Uh-oh.
All right, question for all of you, but mainly for Manny. What's your opinion on Eric July's comic, Isom, gaining so much support so quickly? Could Isom's success influence Marvel or DC to improve the quality of their books? We talked about this off air. Eric July, Young Ripper, his comic, he basically did his own comic book, put it up on his own, like, what do they call them, crowdfunded thing, and it sold like $3.5 million and made that, obviously got the attention of the comic book industry, but because of his views, some people are not exactly happy about that. So there's been controversy about that. So that's just for me. Setup. Manny, go ahead. What do you think about all this?
For me, with him, the one thing I respect is that he was able to, he did what you're supposed to do when you see that there's a hole in the industry, right? You see that there's an audience, you see that there's a hole, so that what you do is you make something to fill that hole. That's what any of us have ever done. I feel like a lot of as far as my concern, I wouldn't say, the only thing I would say is that it comes off the back of controversy. You know what I mean? Like if he was doing this book and he didn't have the audience that he did, would it even have done the numbers that it have done? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, as a business person, you want to parlay your audience into making yourself, into different things. But this is almost like this. It almost seems like this situation of like, hey, look, Bruce Willis has a side group, and the only reason why people are buying Bruce Willis the music, no matter how good Bruce Willis's music is or may not be, you're still buying it just because it's Bruce Willis. So is it a situation where what the guy has done is legitimately good, or is it just because people are because of the cult of personality he has put together, people are just buying it because of that. We won't know. We haven't actually read the thing. But I don't hold any, obviously he has very, very strong opinions about the current state of comics. And, but I think that also the situation, it's like, is any of his commentary even helping? Like, is it just, can he exist in this world without actually having a controversy to talk about?
Yeah. To be fair though, the comic is not controversial. It's apparently just a straight up.
No.
But you're right about that. Yeah, but you're talking about like the controversy that comes with him. Yeah.
The controversy that comes with him.
Yeah,
so
you
have all of that. You have all of that on top of it. So I understand both sides of this sort of situation. So yeah, to be honest, dude can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's got views, he's got people, so he just parlayed that into a book. As a creator, that's what you want to do. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people just want to fill those holes, but never be able to get the audience that comes with that.
Yeah. I'm going to refrain from talking about it because I'm not trying to get in trouble. But I will say this though, I've noticed that yes, if you have a platform like YouTube, you're going to do good. Like for example, Daniel Green, he's like a booktuber. No controversy with this guy whatsoever. So, but it was also not surprising that when he put his first novel out,
his book out,
it blew the fuck up, millions of copies. He's not controversial guy, but he has that platform. Right. And I've noticed that with a lot of, at least from that side, like if you have a platform, you put something out, it's probably going to sell a lot because you already have a fan base. But with this guy, obviously, it's amplified even more because there's people buying the book to, say fuck you to Marvel and DC,
Yeah.
But having a platform definitely helps.
I also think that the thing about it is that, like, I don't understand why people would see that as a fuck you to Marvel or DC. Just because he's making this book, I don't see that as that. I think it's just a creator wanting to put out their idea. And I think that...
Well, he's literally said, if you don't want to fuck with Marvel and DC anymore, buy my shit. He's literally said that. Like you said, he's filling a hole. That's what he said.
He's filling a hole. That's the way I sort of see it. And I don't really hold any animosity toward the guy for essentially pulling that. I don't agree with a lot of the things that he says, but I think that he's doing it. And that's the now that you got issue 1 or graphic novel out, now let's continue to do that. At this, how many? What is it? A graphic novel he put out?
Yeah, because it's called the Rippaverse because he does plan to have a lot more comics and stuff that are all connected and stuff. But yeah, the comic still hasn't come out yet officially. I think it's coming out very soon though.
As far as I've heard, it's already done. Well,
it's already
keep
done.
doing it.
Yeah, it's already done.
All I gotta say is keep doing it, buddy, because everybody in this, and I just keep putting it out there. I always say
I'll say this: don't do what the image creators did. A lot of these guys put out the #1 book. They made a lot of money and never made a #2.
Yeah, the thing is, like, okay, once all that money starts coming in, that's gonna look really good. That looks really good. You almost don't need to do anything at that point. You made yourself rich.
Yep.
Now the question is, you have to continue to do that.
Yep.
When supposedly Mark McFarlane and Jim Lee and all those guys decided to do the revolution, where are the other guys? Where are the upstarts that nobody wants to hear? This story's been told before, buddy. So but I would say also the animosity from the industry comes from is just the fact that he because of his controversial statements.
And also, let's be honest, because his book's selling more than their books. Let's just be honest.
I think, and I also think it's like this is not one. This is the sort of outsider, who hasn't done all the things, haven't been abused by the industry, haven't put all their blood, sweat, and tears to try to just at least make something happen. He got to skip in line, and I think a lot of people don't like that.
Makes sense,
Because he didn't need to go submit his stuff to Marvel or DC. He didn't need to have his book fail, and then after 8 issues, and then have to try to find another job. He doesn't need to worry about his family, not being able to live because he can't or not being able to support himself because his book got canceled.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's got all the good. He's got all the good, but none of the bad.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's definitely reasons why people could be resentful of that because he didn't put in the blood, sweat, and tears. You know,
No,
he's took a different course. It's like, hey, that door's open over here. Let me go over this way. You know,
exactly. He again a parlay. He parlayed what his already existing audience is into this other venue, his side quest.
Yeah, Chris, you gonna say something? Thought I heard you say something before. All right, guess not.
Oh no,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, but I don't know. This is probably too because I was gonna interject and say also, Danny's released a book and is doing pretty well because he has an audience to release it to.
Oh yeah,
so
if
there's
you have an audience, it's gonna help.
No, if you have an audience, it's definitely going to help. It's like he has an audience that looks for that stuff. So if he decides to go off and do to do a children's book or write his memoirs, he has all of that sort of stuff there for him. Now the question is, could it be something that stands on its own, or is it just a novelty? And that's the larger question that you have to ask with a lot of these things. Is this a legitimate project, or is it just like it's a mediocre project kind of pushed with it because it has a lot of attention behind it because of a well-known YouTuber or well-known influencer is behind it.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to mention because he's already doing a multiverse part of this.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even released one. All right, that's
No.
Well, that's
a lot of Marvel.
That's his plan. You know.
Carlos,
it's not a multiverse. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah.
You could explain.
It's not a multiverse. It's just that he'll have other things that tie into it, like how you have like Spider-Man, Iron Man, and whatnot. They tie into each other. Not different universes. That was part of like his code of ethics or something like that.
Like a connected universe, right? He has multiple characters.
Yeah. Like he even said that he is not doing multiverses because he feels that just cheapens the whole idea of it.
Yeah, that's good because I was like, all right, this dude already doing the what's bad about comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, all power to the guy. All to power to the guy for making it happen for himself. Now the next part of this quest is to be able to keep that momentum after all the dust is settled.
Yeah, Brian, what's up?
Yeah, I'm mostly in with Manny there. It's like, yeah, like this guy, like he did what business people do. Like they see a gap in the market and then they fill it. So I have to applaud him for that. Mm-hmm. And two, he's sticking to his guns because like how many times have we said to people like, oh yeah, they should just make something new and like rather than just attached to something, like they wanted to be the change that they want in life. Unlike other people that just leech off other stuff and then just ruin it. So yeah, I can't really fault the guy for doing that. And to answer the questions, would he have gotten as much money if he wasn't as controversial? Probably not, because again, he is probably one of the few people out there who has his stance and is that public about it. So that obviously will put more eyes on to him. So. Yeah, that does have something to do with it.
Wasn't there another guy too? I can't remember his name. He had what was that? He had another. There was another like comic YouTuber who sort of.
What's his name? Let's just call him Zach. So yeah, he released like his own comic. And it did very well as well. And then there was also Ethan Van Sciver, who was a longtime DC artist. He did his own thing. The Cyber Frog that did a million.
That's old school. Like he did Cyber Frog years ago.
Yeah, he brought it back. He brought it back though. That's what it was. But again, even though with him, his established audience was the comic book guys. But he has since become a YouTuber. So yeah, these guys are doing their thing. So they're at least doing that. You can't fault that. Even if you question, the people or the art itself, they're doing what they said they're going to do. What is it? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you just do. They found the hole in the market that they're filling, and it's doing well for them. So controversial statements and stuff like that, and sort of looking for controversy and stuff. I say, like, if you're finding an audience, that's what you're really supposed to be doing. That's what, in the end, what is comics, what is creating these things, that's finding the audience.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Moving on here. Threw this one in here right now from Mighty Nerd. Since we're talking about comics, what do you guys think about the Berserk manga continuing without the original creator who passed away last year?
Well, according to the what it was is that the creator, the guy who's going to be taking over it, is a longtime friend of the original manga creator. In fact, the idea of, I forgot what book that he created, but a lot of their life experiences sort of work their way into Berserk. So I think he sort of feels that he knows the original creator enough to where he can sort of construct an ending for it, or continue the manga after. But the one thing about it, it's like, I mean, is he going to be drawing the book, or I don't know any of that sort of stuff. I know he's an artist himself.
I thought they were going to get a bunch of artists to draw it, like just to kind of keep it going faster or something.
Yeah. I mean, it could just be his, because the thing is that, remember also that artist had a team, who essentially was paid to draw like him. So
yeah, so it's probably gonna be it could be those guys. My thing is, like, it is a little weird, but if the artist endorsed it, then that's okay, I
don't know if he would endorse it, but it sort of makes the most sense out of all the people to do it. Like it's like, I mean, we're talking about was it Pantera, right?
Yeah.
They got the original singer, the original bassist, but they got Charlie Benanti from Anthrax, and they have Zakk Wylde, who's the best friends with Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah.
So I couldn't think of a better person to take that position than him.
Yeah, exactly. So, and they're also not calling it like the new Pantera. They're just going, this is our tribute.
It's called the tribute. Yeah.
I feel like the fact that it resumed like fairly quickly after the mangaka died, I feel like it was kind of already like predated, like they were already planned for this.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember. I remember his death as being fairly untimely, like it was out of nowhere. But, and they also said he wrote stuff, but he didn't write a lot. So I think they knew the direction that he was going to head, at least for a little bit. But who knows?
Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to say anything about Berserk?
Even though I haven't read the Wheel of Time, it's giving me Wheel of Time vibes.
Yeah, for sure. But even with Robert Jordan, again, he was like, hey, we should probably get somebody else to finish this off, So it was endorsed, even though it was his wife ultimately that selected Brandon Sanderson to be the the fill-in guy.
And also the wife of the Berserk creator, wasn't she the Sailor Moon person?
Is she?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I didn't know he was married to the creator of Sailor Moon, or the artist of Sailor Moon.
Yeah, you have to verify that. I honestly don't know. I don't follow manga. All right.
He was sort of a weird guy. Like he kind of worked himself into a.
Oh no! Sorry, Togashi. That's Togashi. I got him confused. Never mind.
All right. And the last question from Jackzilla, may be the strangest question we've ever gotten on Throwdown. How much do popular podcasts get paid per ad by Manscaped? I don't think it's selling out to take the money. I'm just wondering if it's 5,000 to 10,000, or is that extremely low? What was the highest offer Throwdown was ever approached with? Happy 400. Thank you. We've never been approached for.
We've never been approached for sponsorships. Yeah. I mean, usually the way some sponsorships works is that you have to sort of seek them out. That's why I usually, or if they do, some of them may do it based on your numbers. But yeah, we've never been approached for any sort of advertising.
We've never been approached, and we've never approached anyone for.
I will say this: we are sponsored today by I am Negan.
Hey, there you go.
Podcast on thecoalition.com. No, we haven't been sponsored, but 5 to 10,000 is depending on the YouTuber. If it's a huge YouTuber that's like Mr. Beast level YouTuber, 5 to 10,000 is super low.
Yeah, I wouldn't know this shit like at all. So I don't know.
No, we never
we don't know anything about ads and YouTube and sponsorships. We don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, we just do the show, and whatever comes out of it comes out of it. So our show is pretty much sponsored by you guys.
Yeah, pretty much. It literally is.
With all your bits and all that sort of stuff that allows us to, and the little bit of revenue that we get off of YouTube, that allows us to do little fun giveaways.
Yeah. We don't do this podcast for money. We do it just for fun and to hang out with ourselves, obviously, and then hang out with you. That's all. Like, as long as we get that, as long as we have our audience, we're perfectly happy.
As long as we get to answer your booty questions, we're good.
Yeah, but obviously we don't know anything about this world, so
no.
Yeah. Bonus question: what is best in life? Can anybody quote it?
Chris, say it.
Yeah, Chris.
Chris? What is best in life?
What is it? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's according to Arnold. That's not. That's not acceptable anymore.
Yeah, it's not acceptable anymore.
Yeah. To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of the women. Oh man! Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get deep. What do you guys personally think is best in life? Like, no joke.
The people that you meet along the way. Friends, family. Also, that's the important part. All the other stuff is sort of extra.
Family.
Yeah, they said
family. The legitimate family that you have, and the family, the sort of extended family that you create over life. The people that you've met over the years. The people that you continue to commune with. You go visit, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day too. It's like, when I'm in my deathbed, I'm not going to be thinking about like, oh man, I wish I would have done this to make more money. I'm going to be thinking about, man, that Iron Maiden concert was fucking awesome. Man, that barbecue was good. It's all about family, whether they're your blood family or extended family. That's what it's about, man. So that's what's best in life,
Yeah. I feel like the memories that you've collected throughout life are the most important thing. And that, like the guys mentioned, that involves family, that involves friends, that involves even the random strangers that you cross paths with from time to time. They all spark a moment. They all spark a memory. Every time you learn something new, you do something new, or you learn something in life, I feel like it extends it. Because if you keep doing the same exact thing and where it becomes mechanical, life flows very quickly and then you die. But as long as you have things that you do throughout the way that inspire you, that move you, that makes you closer with the people that you love, then I feel like life gets extended in those ways.
That's true, man. There you go. So that's what's best in life. All right, good stuff, man. Does anybody here want to say anything to the fans?
Well, I did say it the last time, so I think it's your turn, Tony.
Yeah. Did I say? I thought I said something. Yeah, no, shout out to you guys. We keep doing this for you. It's always awesome getting together twice a week, just talking about games and all the other silliness that's going on. Like I said earlier, we don't do this for money. We obviously don't get paid unless it's by you guys, so we just do this for you. So thank you for letting us keep doing this, and hopefully we'll have another 400 episodes. That'll be very interesting. Maybe we'll reach episode 1000 and what would that be? 2 years from now will be episode 500. So somebody who's better with math. Whenever, I don't know when we hit episode 1000, but that'll be fucking amazing. And we'll keep it going, man. So yeah, shout out to all you guys, man. You guys are our extended family.
That'll be in the 2030s, by the way.
Damn, we'll see what happens. Right?
Yeah, that's we'll see. We'll see if we can get torrents then.
Yeah. You know.
No, who's this?
I do want to mention, Manny. This is the best you've ever looked since the inception of the show.
This is true.
I hope you use this.
Yeah, you don't look as good at home. You really don't. You know,
whatever laptop you're using, it looks amazing. It hasn't.
Maybe we got good internet. I mean, I'm using my old computer at the house, so who knows?
Yeah, maybe you should use this laptop.
Maybe I should just use my work laptop instead of my old.
It's not only the clarity, like even the frame rate is better. You know. It's good shit, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Hey, Brett, get in here. I don't think you said anything last time, so we'll get you in here. Anything you want to say to the fans?
Just that, not like sound like conclusion or nothing like that, but it's been a dope ride thus far.
I like that.
Appreciate y'all sticking with us for the old timers and for the new timers. Happy to have you.
Yeah, and the in between timers.
In between timers can go fuck themselves.
They fuck those guys.
That's just Damien. Oh no,
Damien, where you at, Brett?
Yo, yeah, man. I do want to say shout out to the fans because not only do we talk to them through this chat, but on Discord and on Twitter and stuff like that. So it's like we always communicate. And also, thanks for giving us the opportunity to hang out. We get to hang out with each other twice a week, and it's always a good time. So appreciate that.
Damn right, man. I'm looking at this picture Brett shared. Chris, what do you want to say to the fans?
Well, I mean, we appreciate all the support. We appreciate the engagement because you guys could just be casual listeners and not care to ask us questions. Like the fact that you give a damn what we think about topics is great. So we appreciate that very much.
Awesome. Brian, got anything
and
to say?
The charts.
And the charts. See, the charts for days.
Oh, yeah, that you hear me ramble about money, yeah.
All right, Brian, what do you got to say to the fans?
Yeah, just more of the same on what Chris said. Like, I'm surprised that you guys actually give a damn about what we think, because for the most part, I don't give a damn about what I think. To be fair.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say because for the most part, I don't give a damn what Chris thinks either.
Oh, damn.
Oh no.
But yeah, again, and plus just here for the jokes. I mean, like most of the time, what you hear on the show is what we say behind the scenes. Like that's
just a little filtered,
We talk about like random stuff behind the scenes, like non-gaming stuff, but it's still mostly the same conversations. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was the whole genesis of Throwdown. It's like, hey, this shit we talk about on the phone, just do a podcast on it. You know, as simple
pretty
as that.
much.
And I always, like when the fans tell us, like, oh, it just feels like I'm just hanging out, listening to a gaming conversation. Like that's literally what we want to do. We're not talking down to you guys. Like, hey, on this episode of Throwdown, we're gonna talk about that. You're like, no, fuck all that. Unscripted, baby. That's how we do around here. And with that said, do we have anything to plug around?
As of now, there is nothing to plug other than the fact that I was in PAX for the PAX weekend. If you looked at our Twitter, I posted I just flooded it with a bunch of stuff. So check all those fun pictures out. We got to see all kinds of fun stuff. I did get to play the Lies of P. So
maybe talking about that on Thursday.
Maybe talking about that on next Thursday when I'm back in the old office.
Yeah. With that new computer though.
Yeah, a little bit. With a sexy, powerful new laptop I got.
Yeah, because this is the same webcam you still always use though, right?
No, this is the Logitech one.
Ooh, which one do you normally use?
I use the Elgato the Elgato face cam.
Yeah. Oh no, we need to upgrade because you look good there. No,
the Elgato face cam is actually very good, but
wonder what happens if you put the Elgato with this shit.
We'll see. I mean, I could always do that. But yeah, the Elgato is like it's a really good camera. I mean, I just think that my old computer, I'm probably filled up a lot of my virtual memory with stuff running. Encoding video is very taxing, and if sometimes I get kicked off of our stream because I'm trying to work and doing it at the same time, and most of my memory is all filled up on it, so it takes a little bit of it.
I bet this laptop can handle that shit though. That thing's beastly.
I mean, it seems to be. I'm running this thing through Wi-Fi, so
yeah.
And I have a cabled connection at my place, so
yeah. But I'm just talking about just all the tasks and stuff. It could probably handle a lot more shit, than what you got running. So that's good. Real quick, Mighty Nerd says, thanks for answering my questions over the years. Everyone on the panel, you already know. He also says, Chris, I do appreciate you going over financial data. I also enjoy the personality perspectives from everyone. Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Yo, Tony.
Yo.
You know what was the last platinum man he got?
Stray.
El Gato.
Okay. Was it 187? That line's like stupid gato. Was that 187? It was 187, right?
Yeah, it was he's because he's all high, right?
Yeah,
he's
like a coyote passes by. He's like,
it was a coyote because of the gato. He's like, stupid.
And then he got
gato.
shot with an arrow.
He gets shot with an arrow. And he's like, stupid Indian.
It's stupid. Stupid.
Yeah, it was an arrow with like heroin. Like it was a heroin arrow.
Yeah, so it killed him.
So she make him to overdose.
Oh, that movie was good, man.
Because Sam Jackson was essentially the to clean up the town. He was killing off all the drug dealers and drug heads.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason I was talking about that movie after a conversation talking about The Substitute with what's his face?
With Tom Berenger.
Yeah, with Tom Berenger, And then I was talking to my friend Jeffrey about that. He forgot that Ernie Hudson was in that. Remember, he's the principal.
Oh, yeah.
He breaks the board just to show how strong he is.
Yeah.
Tom Berenger, man. Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know. He became the sniper for a while with Billy Zane, remember?
Yeah. That's another one I was talking about. What happened to Billy Zane?
Yeah, he fell off.
I mean, after I wonder if Billy Zane was sort of blacklisted.
Yeah,
from
like
the
did he get Harvey
industry.
Weinstein? Like, what happened to this guy?
I mean, he wouldn't be the only one who got Harvey Weinstein.
Brendan Fraser,
Oh, man.
And
there's a whole list of the female actors that got all Weinsteined too.
Yeah. Oh shit, Billy Zane is in The Boys. Good for him. I didn't know that.
Billy Zane. Wait, was he in The Boys?
That's what Logic One says.
I haven't seen The Boys though.
I
don't know. I have seen The Boys. I don't know who he plays.
Yeah, he says I trust Logic Wins, man. He's very logical.
He may be unrecognizable. It has been like at least 30.
Maybe he's like fucking Brendan Fraser. He's wearing some shit. You don't even know it's him because he's
Brendan Fraser's not actually wearing anything. He's just doing the voice on that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, that's not nice.
What's up?
He's just fat.
He's just.
By the way, Yeah. So that's why. Okay,
cool. All right, man. I think we have everything right. Plugging stuff.
Make sure to watch. I Am Negan. One second.
Oh yeah, get that shit.
Make sure to watch I Am Negan on thecoalition.com or I Am Negan or the Coalition on YouTube or I Am Negan on all the podcasting apps. Where we cover currently Tales of the Walking Dead. We're going to cover the newest episode that launched on AMC Plus, which I believe is episode 5, which is the penultimate episode of the season. It can't come any time sooner. And hopefully we can get an episode sometime either tomorrow or the day after. We'll see. Things are a little bit dicey right now, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow us for I Am Negan on the Coalition, thecoalition.com, or on podcasting apps. And Walking Dead Proper is coming in soon, so make sure to stay tuned with that. And the show is hosted by Adam Bale, and Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. is in the show alongside with myself. And even though sometimes the episodes are good, we have good conversations regardless. So stay tuned.
Yeah, man. And also shout out to Richard Bailey Jr. and Riku Sun-won who joined us for Throwdown episode 400. If you haven't heard it, hear it. A classic episode. You know, Rich was on that night, which I appreciate.
Rich, yeah.
Rich was on that night.
No snoring this time.
Yeah, no, he didn't snore. Yeah, no, the Halo Infinite line. Like, I know why they call this Halo Infinite. Because fans will wait an infinite time to play it. Oh, man.
The funny thing about those Rich lines is you always know they're coming.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I wonder what he's gonna say.
Like, oh, he's gonna say something. He always does, man. Never lets us down. Oh man. But again, I noticed that whenever he's on, we don't have Adam on. Something's going on, man. Something's going on.
Oh,
Do you think they're the same person?
They might be. That's what I'm thinking, bro. That's my going theory right now. I think they might be the same person.
It's like he said, you can't cross the streams.
Yeah. All right, people. So you're ready to follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. Throwdown is on every podcast app on the planet. Throwdown Show towards Throwdown Show. Also visit throwdownshow.com to listen to previous episodes. And if you have been watching us on YouTube and enjoyed the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and be hitting the bell to be notified of when we go live, when our premieres go live. Links to everything down below. Once again, our star host Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Throwdown is still within the Leo DiCaprio age.
Oh, shit. Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
And Brian Manjoma.
Be 400 more.
Yes, indeed. All right, people, you already know 401 Hip Hop Gamer will be joining us on Thursday. So he is absolutely no stranger to danger. So we'll see you then. Later.
Laters.
Peace.
Latest.
Deuces.